Okay, so now we're going to learn how to create harmonies by just dragging a single vocalist part. First scenario I'm going to go through is with Melodyne Editor, which will show you how to do it polyphonically within one track. Then I'll also show you how to do it with individual tracks. Okay, here's the song.
Dig deep, deeper still, to know the heart. What a wonder.
Okay, so that's female vocalist part there. I'm going to actually create that into a harmony. I'm going to grab that. Go ahead and copy it. So here's some of the techniques for copying. First thing is I just drag across the notes to select them. Then I do a Control C. And then you put your cursor exactly where you want those things to be pasted in. I'm lining it up right with this note here. Doing a Control V and inserted a double copy there. So I'm going to and then I'm going to Control V again, and it'll make another copy of it and drag that one up.
Dig deep, deeper still.
Okay, we've created a 3-part harmony off of just her voice.
To know the heart.
Now, with harmonies, rarely do they follow in unison. If they do, they sound kind of mechanical. We're going to go through and actually change some of these notes, pretty much doing that by ear and adjusting it so that the harmony part sounds good. In general, harmony parts away from the melody are typically more simplified. They have less movement in the pitch and definitely less movement in terms of vibrato and those kinds of things. So I usually back off on the vibratos. Take this example, this one right here. I'm going to go in, once I still have all the notes selected here, I'm going to go in and take the pitch modulation tool and actually bring those way down, almost completely flat. Here's another neat thing you can do. There's a built-in randomization built into the tool. If you go over here to Edit, Add Random Deviation, we're going to put a slight deviation in pitch. And we'll put in another one for timing. So let's listen to that.
Dig deep, deeper still.
You can see it added some variation to that. So now let's go in and just adjust some of these notes to make the harmony sound a little better. Let's listen to the first one.
Dig deep, deeper still.
Go ahead and leave that one the way it is.
To know,
Let's change this one here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is
to know, to know.
I'm going to go ahead and tune that. I remember I was saying that try to keep these things a little more monotonic. So
To know.
I'm going to drag these notes all together here. And I'm in the pitch tool mode, so I can double click on these and bring them right into pitch where they're supposed to be. See what that sounds like?
To know the heart, know the heart, know the heart of God.
Notice here I've also taken some of the consonants and just left them for the lead
To
vocal.
know the heart of God. Know the heart of God. What a wonder.
Another thing I want to point out, if you go ahead and turn the note notation on in the view section, you'll see what key you're in here. You can see we're in the key of G. And so that allows you, if you want to go ahead and set your scale, rather than to semitones, set it to snap, to G major, scale snap, and you're cool. And now when you make changes, snaps. I'm going to go ahead and do that with a male vocal part, and we'll have a whole choir here and nothing flat. Okay, here's a male voice.
Deep,
deeper still.
Let's go ahead and dupe that one out a little bit. Okay, here they are copied out a couple times. One's to a bass and
dig deep, deeper still.
Okay, here's a critical tip. Highlight a harmony part that you've generated. As you click down with the pitch tool, you'll be able to hear it. If you hold down the control key after you hold down the pitch, you'll be able to hear all the other parts. Control key down, control up, control D key down.
What a wonder to know the heart can.
So this is what the song sounds like after generating 3 parts of female harmonies and 3 parts of male harmonies, so 6-part harmony.
Dig deep, deeper still, to know the heart can. What a wonder.
So next we're going to look at doing this same generation of harmony parts by copying one voice and changing its pitch on separate tracks. This way you do it. First of all, you can do it with Melodyne Essential, as well as be able to add different levels of effects, maybe a lot more reverb on the backup vocals versus the lead vocals, etc. So up to this point, we've been using Melodyne in a standard mode, which is when you create an original event, and then process Melodyne against it. Melodyne is linked to that event permanently, and the original event. And so if you make pitch changes in the original event, it will make pitch changes in all the copies, which is a great workflow if you do if you're doing loop-based music, or you want to change, let's say, a pitch in a chorus and you want it to be changed in each one of the choruses. So that is kind of by default, it's biased towards that. Now, if you want to use it to generate harmonies, you actually want to generate separate pitches for each one of the harmony parts based off the same original vocal track. To do that, you've got to go through a process of breaking that link, and you do that by basically bouncing it, doing Control B for that event. So as you make copies of the original event, you'll have to do a Control B on it to break that link, and then regenerate your melody harmonies so that it allows you to independently adjust the pitch of each one of these things, but you're still using the same original event. So let's take a look at how to do that. Okay, so this track right here is a lead vocal track.
If you knew how much I love you, you would cry.
Okay, we're going to take that track down. You can see here we've got Melodyne has already been generated against this. You can see the notes here. If I double click it, it'll bring up the Melodyne part. And if I dupe that track out, which I've done here with this second one, you can see it also has the Melodyne notes in it. It's basically the same. It is exact copy of what's going on there. So that won't work if we want to actually change these notes, because if I change this note here, it will change it up there as well. So anyway, we don't want to do that. We want to change these things independent of each other. First, we're going to split the copied track just at the beginning of a
Cry, tears of joy.
Go ahead and split it right there. And we're going to go ahead and throw this away. And we're going to go and do a bounce selection. When it does that, it will create a new copy of this file. When it does it, it releases the Melodyne connection link to it and allows you to independently work with this melody versus this melody. So now I can go ahead and regenerate the Melodyne for just that section, and you'll see it's just those notes. And we can work with these things independent of each other.
If you knew how much I love, how much I love you.
Okay, So now we can work with these things independent. So you basically just do that same process for each level of harmonization you want to create, 2 or 3 part harmonization. So to reiterate it one more time, you copy the track, you cut out the part you want to generate just the harmony for, bounce that section, which gets rid of the Melodyne connection, and then reapply Melodyne to just that section, and allows you to independently control this one versus that one. Or if you're Melodyne Essential owners, you can see how you can get going on this thing and develop harmonies pretty quick.